Hello, everybody. You are listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with a very special guest today to talk about classical guitaring. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. This is Andrea González Caballero. I am a Spanish guitarist and I'm planning my next tour in the US and I'll be visiting California very soon. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a really big population of people who'd be interested in this, and y- we, even at the station, we have a lot of shows that are either conducted in Spanish or focused on Hispanic music, so it's really exciting to see. Can you tell us a little bit more about your tour and the new stuff that you're coming out with?
Yes, of course. I visited California last year as well, and it was such a privilege to play in Irvine for the first time. So we had a concert based on Spanish music. So all the repertoire will be, or most of it, composed by Spanish musicians. So it will be a show that lasts around 75 minutes, no intermission, because I always like to create the repertoire without intermission, so I can explain about the pieces and a little bit of the story behind them, or the story of the pieces between the music and myself. Some of the music that I'm performing, I learned it when I was very, very young, and they were like my favorite pieces that connected me with the classical guitar. So we'll have a little bit of everything, but most of the pieces are Spanish music.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Me and my co-host Dalton, we try and focus on learning more about artists and kind of how they got into the art, their
hmm
method of making art. So yeah, I'd love to pick your brain at this. When did you start playing guitar? Because you mentioned songs from when you were very young.
Yes. So my mom is also a classical
Nice.
guitarist, so it was easy for me to see a guitar, and I started when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Yes. Well, I started with my mom, so she taught me the first things, and then I studied in Spain and later in Germany, where I did my bachelor degree with my teacher there for 12 years. Um, and yeah, I spent most of my career in Germany, and now I'm in the US. I graduated from Peabody Institute in Baltimore and the University of Miami as well.
See.
So this is a resume of of my career since I was 7 years old. But I think it's because my family is also a musician, so that was a big connection.
I see. What was the role of music like in your family? Did it bring you guys together, connect you to the culture? Was it time for leisure, time for work?
I think I took it very seriously. I don't know why. I was very focused, and my mom asked me if I wanted to learn violin or flute, and I don't know why, but I wasn't very convinced about changing the instrument. So I kept on with the guitar, and I remember that it was leisure for sure, but on another side, it was like I wanted to prepare a program and play for my family, and then
Oh,
later for an audience, like small audiences. And then with the years,
nice.
I had always the focus to practice for sharing with the audience.
Yeah,
So that was maybe what drove me keep playing.
nice. That was a good motivator, having people that
Yes,
understand the skill that you're putting into it. Awesome.
yes.
Um, Another thing that I wanted to ask, what made you decide classical guitar?
hmm
Like, oh, sorry, continue.
Yeah, beside classical guitar, if I learn another instrument or
Or like specifically classical in guitar and not like um, I guess more modern stuff? Or what was
I
that?
always, yeah, I always did classical guitar.
I see.
I tried to learn a little bit of electric, but I think it wasn't my thing. So classical guitar has the classical repertoire, but I think it's also a very versatile instrument. So if you want, you can also have the covers or just use the instrument not to be the soloist, but also to play with a singer or other instruments. That it's very easy to do. But most of my time I've spent all my life in the classical instrument in classical repertoire.
I see. Yeah. That's, yeah, I think electric, of course, you can do a lot of things with it, but it is always more impressive for me when someone can, it's intimidating what people can do on acoustic and stuff like that. It, yeah, it's really awesome to watch.
Yeah, thanks. I think that yeah, electric guitar is more maybe we are used to see them in a band or not as much as the classical guitar that we have more soloists. Um,
I
I
see.
think it's very yeah, it's a curious thing to see just one guitar in a stage. And I think that people can connect because it's also an intimate experience. It's not like super loud, but it's something that connects and it's intimate. And I think that's also magical in a way.
I see. Can you tell me a little bit about the classical Spanish guitar culture? And I know that it's a large part of the culture, but what's it like kind of being joining that those ranks of all those great classical guitarists and especially when you're now playing music about like Spanish or Spain as a community.
Um, well, when I started designing the repertoire that I'm performing in the concert, I wanted to mix composers that wrote for guitar, like traditional guitar composers, such as Francisco Tárrega. He has a very remarkable piece called Recuerdos de la Alhambra, and I also tried to mix these composers with composers that never wrote for guitar, and I have pieces that were transcribed for guitar, but they were originally composed for piano, for example.
I see.
And but they have all this Spanish flavor that you notice that the music comes from that country. So I also try to pick those pieces that, although classical, they have something on it that you can notice that they are from Spain, you
Nice.
know. Also, I have some coplas. These are folk songs from Spain,
Mm.
and they were written for a singer and pianist. And these are transcriptions also that you can listen to this music in one instrument.
Yeah,
So yeah, I have a little bit of everything. I wanted to have the traditional classical composers, but at the same time show a little bit more of the Spanish culture, like with the folk songs or the piano compositions.
I see. Awesome. Yeah, it's just a it's a very awe-inspiring thing to just see how one guitar can command a giant group and yeah, it's like the fundamentals of music. It's very awesome. Um, you mentioned how you designing the repertoire, you wanted to be able to tell stories and stories about yourself and about your culture. Are would you be able to share any of those stories or are they waiting for the tour?
No, for example, about the folk songs, these were songs that my grandma used to listen. And when I was a child, I knew that those songs because of her, but I never thought that I could play them on a classical guitar. I thought it was a little bit strange for me because I was like focused on the classical repertoire. So when I discovered the transcriptions, I thought that it was very important to me because it connected me to my childhood in a more personal way than a professional way. And this is one of the stories. And another story could be I have new repertoire as well, and I have a piece that it's called Lejos de Casa. This is not from a Spanish composer. I think it's one of the only pieces that is composed by an Argentinian composer. But I wanted to add it to the program because Lejos de Casa means like far from home. And I moved from Spain when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
And I've been living abroad for over 15 years.
Wow.
I'm 32 now. And and this piece makes me like connect again with the feeling of being away from home at the same time. So there are pieces that are relevant to me in certain ways. So I always try to find a story or a feeling behind the piece.
I see. That's beautiful. And I mean, I don't have as much music knowledge as you do, but excuse my layman's perspectives, but I see a lot of like returning to home and resolving, coming back to like childhood nostalgia and
Mm,
just recalling those old motifs, and it's really beautiful. I mean, even with every genre, you'll always see how people are repurposing things from their childhood. They're either like art, they're like taking inspiration from it, or they're refuting it. So I think it's cool that you're reinventing these folk songs.
yeah, I think yeah, childhood I think is like a time that m makes us I don't know, it's like a big thing, a big time that
Yeah,
we didn't notice when we were young, and then when we get older, it's like you think back and you try to connect again with
yeah,
some feelings and experiences that you had when you were a kid or
yeah.
you were starting to learn an instrument like now. So
I
yeah,
think
it's special.
true. Yeah, a lot of people um think like, oh, you start playing an instrument when you're young and then you just carry on with it. What would Are there any things that you've kind of learned to pick up or pivot when you were older? Because it's very inspiring to see someone who's prodigal as a child, but I'm curious about like things that you've picked up along the way.
Mm. I well, I remember there were better and worse times. Well, when I was 7, it was easier than when I was 16, for example, because it's also a different time in your life. And and I don't know, I was very focused on becoming as professional as possible and becoming even better and a better professional. But I think with the time, I can notice that I should have been a little bit more patient with the progress because we want to get mature and develop the skills as fast as possible, and some things come with the time. It doesn't matter if you are repeating and repeating and focused and spending so many hours on something, but music and becoming a professional, especially in an instrument, I think the time is essential and you have to let it give you what you need with the years.
Yeah.
So the patient is something that I think it's important and I didn't notice when I was younger. And when you are studying a professional, a master degree or a bachelor degree, and you want to combine it with a professional career, it's also very difficult to separate both worlds because I think musicians combine the academic world and the professional world. Sometimes you are still uh, being a student and playing concerts.
Yeah.
So, how to separate things or how to combine both things is something tricky as well.
See, yeah, yeah. About what you were talking about with patience, me and my co-hosts have talked before on the show about how, like, I guess art is not a passionate love affair where you just fall into it one day and, I
Exactly.
I used to play an instrument. I could practice for like 10 hours a day. That will make me much
Mm.
better. It's like a marriage where you promise that you'll stay with it even if you have many, many bad days. And it
Yes,
just
exactly.
takes a lot of time.
Like, you have to take care every day
Yeah.
and be consistent and
Yeah.
still love it and be passionate. And it's a combination of many things, not only professional things, but also personal things and how you approach problems or highs and downs and how you go through all these things. It's something interesting to experience.
It's inspiring to hear that even at the mega professional level, it's always just a continued relationship. It's never just like autopilot. Oh, let me
No,
get my
never, never.
um I'm curious what it's like for you. Like what does a day look like practicing and stuff? Is it really like practicing 40 hours a day? Like
No. Well, it used to be.
yeah.
I think a few years ago, maybe when I was in the academic world, it
Hmm.
was a little bit more like that way, like focus on practicing. Now is a wider perspective, maybe, and of course I practice every day, and I try to create a routine because it's not easy when you work from home and you are like you don't have anyone to tell you you have to practice and stop and continue. And so I try to create a routine where I can practice every day, but also I like to spend some time thinking about the repertoire, what should I learn, what I've done till now, what I want for the next time. So it's also a little bit of spending time analyzing some works that I want to learn in the future and how will it work um, for the next project and things like that. I used to practice more technique when I was younger. Now I practice technique, but I try to extract passages from the pieces that I'm learning. It's like I don't practice maybe scales, but I take the scale on a specific piece and I practice that with different rhythms and speed, and yeah,
Gotcha.
it's
Okay.
different
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, it just faded from my brain. I was gonna ask what what are things that inspire you when you're not practicing things that are like unrelated to music? Because I remember we talk a lot about kind of interdisciplinary art where it's not, or with people we interview, creating isn't just like existing in a vacuum where you only like rep techniques, kind of like you said. So what are things around you that kind of m make you think like even like movies, art, interactions with family?
Well, I love traveling for sure, and it's an important part of my jobs, and that's I think that that combination is great. So I can travel and know places and different people and different cultures. This is one of my big hobbies, and now it's part of my job. And in a week, like in normal week, I would say I read and listen to music, watch some series. I prefer series than movies, and I have to tell you that. And I used to paint, not anymore, but I like the painting. Not I have to spend more time on my hobbies, I think. But yes, just typical things, nothing very special.
I I think that that's really key to hear. A lot of people think like, oh, artists, they exist in this other world where it's like practicing for 40 hours a day and then afterwards they're like sitting in a room listening to
No,
music. So, yeah.
not at all.
What are some
I also try to have when I was a kid also, and I always used to have a very normal life. Like I went out with my friends, I traveled with my friends and my family. I never spent so many hours practicing that stopped me from doing things that I love.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was very important to have a long career
Yeah. I
because as a kid, you can be burned very fast. Like you are 10 years old and you're desperate. So I think the balance of having a very normal life helped me through the years and also helped me prepare for concerts as well. I think they are special, but at the same time, I try to incorporate them in my life as okay, it's my job and I want to enjoy it and go through them like the best way possible.
I see. Yeah. I I often hear the romanticism of like the artists that will just like throw away the rest of their lives for like their art, and I think that that's not sustainable. It's not feasible. So yeah.
Well, some people maybe they it works for them because it's their nature. My nature isn't that. I notice it very fast.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah, I didn't want to block anything and like limitate my yeah my life.
So, can you tell me a bit more about your travels, some cool places that you've been to, what you're learning on the road?
Wow. Maybe the most exotic travels I had were China when I did a tour in China for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Australia as well, like another 3 weeks or so. I had the chance to travel uh, through some cities there. I don't remember if it was 12 cities, 10 cities in
Goodness.
Australia, Mexico as well, well, in Europe, here in the US, of course. I have some travels now in September, October, and November. So I'll be focused here in the US.
Yeah, and you'll be coming to Irvine.
Yes, in October.
I think October 4th, right?
October 4th, yes, it's Saturday, 7:30 p.m.
Oh, I see, I see. Awesome. Any like cool travel stories that stand out to you? Because you must have experienced so many things on the road.
Well, cool or unpleasant as well, like things that happen when you are traveling. Last time, yeah, this happened in Europe a few months ago, and I booked two seats, one for me and one for my guitar. And when I was at the airport, they told me that I couldn't bring the guitar with me because the guitar was named under my name.
Oh my
So it
God.
was like it was not allowed to get into the plane
Oh,
because we had two seats under one name.
probably should get it
So,
smart.
well, it was like super frustrating. They allowed me to get to the plane, and while I was flying to the connection, uh, the next flight was canceled, and they put the guitar in another plane and myself in a different plane. So it was a chaos to get to the place with the guitar. Sometimes the airlines are a little bit tricky to deal with, especially when you are taking an instrument with you. So these kind of stories are very
Yeah.
common.
Yeah, that sounds like just guessing off the top of my head, I feel like that could probably be like Wizz Air or like Ryanair.
Yeah, those kind of. It
Yeah.
was KLM this time.
Oh,
I had, yeah,
yeah.
KLM.
But still, it's it's an adventure, and I think it's fun to hear about that stuff. Just the mundane things that
Yeah, yeah, you never know what to expect. Although you try to do things like the best way, that it's difficult to understand that we need to take the instrument with us. And I am also doing everything possible to have the instrument with me. So sorry if I haven't booked it properly.
I some people just don't understand. That's like my second arm. Like you can't take it from
Yes,
like my
yes,
prosthetic.
especially if you are traveling for a concert and you need to be the next day with your instrument in a rehearsal. That was the case. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, please.
It's all the minutia, like I played a woodwind, but like it needs to be at the same like temperature as me and like hold onto it to keep it warm and stuff. Like no, take
Yes.
it from me, it can't go in the cargo.
Yeah.
So prepping to go on your big tour, what are some things that you're doing to get ready for going on the road? Just, to stay sane, to stay
Yeah.
sane.
Um, I have started to do more sport lately because I noticed that last year's tour was very long and I ended up being exhausted. So it's not only because of the concerts, but the travels and changing cities and practicing, and that's very stressful. So I have started to do Pilates.
Oh,
No,
that's
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I try always to practice the repertoire from the beginning till the end. Like apart from practicing the pieces, I always like creating, okay, the map in my head of how the concert will be, and I can practice the strength and the energy. How should I distribute the energy throughout the concert? Because this is a non-intermission concert,
Yeah.
and although I present some of the pieces, it's non-stop. So I always try to practice that so I it helps me when I'm on stage because I know the map and I know where to relax more and where to push a little bit more. So it's a balance.
I see. Yeah, that definitely takes a lot of stamina that I'm sure most people would never realize how taxing it could be to play for that long. It's down to like the minutia of like when do I breathe and when do I exhale in order to keep my energy going for a long time.
Yes. Then when I'm on stage, I forget that I'm breathing and I'm just focusing
Yeah.
on the music. But while practicing, I need to, yeah, to adjust all these details because that helps when I'm on stage. I can forget about
Yeah.
all this everything. So
What do you think about when you're on the stage? Do you ever like wander off? Go on
this is a
autopilot?
very good question. No, this is a very good question because throughout the years I've been working on getting to the point where I can enjoy the pre-concert moment,
Hmm.
the concert, and the post-concert because the most difficult part is the pre-concert
Yeah.
part. Once I'm on stage and I have the chair and I have tune and I start playing, it's like okay, you start like calming down. I try not to be in, of course, an autopilot that boosts, yeah, because sometimes you think that I've played this piece for many times, but I always think about the audience, and I think that every time should be special, and I try to connect with that feeling like being for the first time in a city and meeting for the first time the audience there. It's something special and it doesn't happen every day, so I try to be motivated, and the message is like enjoy, be connected with the music. It's like these two things that I think.
Yeah. That sounds very linear with what you were talking about before, where it's not just about like technique and perfection, but connecting, even though I'm sure
Hmm.
that you have surpassed perfection with your amount of work, but just like music not just for the sake of skill and like perfect
Yes,
technique, but in order to,
exactly.
talk to all these people who are listening and yeah, gauge the vibe of a city in only a few hours. It's really
Yes.
spectacular.
Yes, and the biggest gift is when people come after the concert and they tell me that they enjoyed, that it was something special for them, or that they connected and they were emotional with the music. That's the best
Amazing.
part of the concert.
That's yeah, I really am excited to have you come to Irvine and experience that. That sounds awesome.
You are invited to the concert. You want to
Uh,
come? I will
thank
be
you.
happy to see you there.
It's my birthday, so
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you may be busy, but you have the doors open if you want to come to the concert.
I'll have a little slice of cake and then take it and then finish it and then come and see you then. Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Well, we have about 10 minutes left in our interview. I was curious what you like to come home to after your tour. Like what are you excited to just really hunker down after such a long time of working fastidiously?
Well, the first thing is like I want to have my coffee, prepare my coffee at home, make like cook food because when you are out like traveling and you never know when you are gonna have lunch, what are you gonna find in that city? And I'm from Spain and I'm like a big fan of the gastronomy, so I'm very connected with the experience of going to a restaurant and enjoying that. But I also love like being at home and having the food that and prepare it and spend some time uh, yeah, the first day or two, this is what I do, like stay at home, relax, start a routine. Um, that's the first thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I chortled a little bit there because I I just love food and the idea of coming from Spain to like Irvine to grab food here doesn't sound like the most magnificent thing, but hopefully you find some good local stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always something good. The problem is that sometimes you don't have the time,
Yeah.
or yeah, that's it's not the most comfortable
Yeah.
thing of the tour. Like,
Yeah. Well, if you do end up in California, maybe you've heard this before, but the fastest, most cost-effective, best thing that you can get in California is In-N-Out. So,
I've tried it. I've tried it before.
what'd you think about it?
It's good.
It
I'm a big fan of the of burgers, so
really,
I like it. I like it.
it's
Yes.
amazing. Also Shake Shack. Yeah,
Also Shake Shack.
that's like
Yes.
that's California's saving grace.
Nice.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say? We have about 5 minutes left.
No, I think that it was a very nice conversation. We covered many things that I wanted to share, and it's nice to have your response and be open to share something that is not very common to see, right? Like classical guitar
Yeah.
concert. So I hope that people are curious about it, like open to experience that for the first time, or maybe people went to the concert last year. It was a sold out concert
Oh,
last
wow.
year. Yes, almost 900 people.
Goodness.
Yes, it was
Amazing.
amazing. It was amazing. So I'm looking forward to this year's concert with some new pieces,
Awesome.
but still with the Spanish program very present. So
That
thank you so
sounds,
much.
of course, thank you for coming to talk with us. I am really excited to play some of your previous stuff on air and incite that interest in our audience. We're always trying to have people expand their listening boundaries. So, yeah, I think that people shouldn't be scared away from classical guitar. It's mind-bogglingly talented. So, we're excited to bring that to our listeners, and we hope that you have an amazing time on tour. Yeah, of
Thank you. Thank you so much.
course.